That crash landing by a US Airways jet in the Hudson River wasn't a fluke after all. According to new FAA report, there's a 62% increase in birds striking commercial planes. The collisions can damage jet engines, leading to possible failure. Federal standards require jet engines to withstand an impact weight of only 4 pounds.
According to NASA, the Arctic Ocean is on thin ice. Right now, thick ice makes up to 10% of ice covering the Arctic Ocean. A decade ago, thick ice covered 40% of the Arctic Ocean. Researchers say the Arctic will lose its summer ice altogether as early as 2015.
Celebrations are continuing in Chapel Hill after North Carolina was crowned the men's NCAA champion last night. The Tar Heels smashed Michigan State 89-72 in the final to win their 5th national title. Carolina was never in trouble. They jumped out to a big early lead before leading by 21 at half-time, a tournament record. It capped a big 24 hours for former star Tar Heel Michael Jordan. His airness was honoured at half-time after being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
The tradition of playing pinball for fun has taken a twist. Now the game has gone professional as players compete for world records. I went out into Fairfax, Virginia to take a look inside one league's competition. Playing pinball may seem like an easy game to pick up, but this game of skill requires hours of practice. This top pinball player, Trent Augustine, has spent years practicing to hold the title of the 6th best pinball player in the world.
Well, I love playing games. And, pinball is a neat game because it's not like a video game where the same thing happens exactly the same every time you play. It's always different because you've got a live ball to play with, and I've always enjoyed it.
At this local Fairfax bar, pinball machines are being put to good use as national competitive players beat the clock to score points.
It was kind of nerve-wracking. I got the first two done really good, but then when it came to these other machines, I couldn't get it going right away. So,
Paul McGlone, the commissioner of the Fairfax Pinball League, goes over the basic rules of the competition. He later said,
The pinball environment and the landscape has changed dramatically from where 20 years ago, every small town, every neighborhood bar, you might have one pool table and one pinball. And eventually some video games popped up, and then you'd have a video and a pinball.
With the rise in video games like PlayStation and Nintendo, pinball has been pushed to the side. But with leagues like this one, the balls are rolling and the flippers are flipping. Pinball is not just a social game. Championships are currently being held across the U.S. to decide the country's best players. That's all the news we have today. For District Wire News, I'm Haifa Al-Mubarak.
And I'm Neil Hickey. Have a good night.